What's up, guys? We just got breaking news. Tight end Pat Freiermuth just got locked up to a 4-year extension. It is 4 years, $48.4 million, coming out to just over $12 million per season. Today, I'm on my day off here. I'm not at the office, but my promise to you guys is whenever breaking news happens for the Pittsburgh Steelers, I'm going to get a video out to you guys as soon as I possibly can. So I'm here at my house here in Dallas, Texas, and I'm going to get you guys the latest surrounding Pat Freiermuth, and then we'll finish up the show with the latest surrounding Russell Wilson's calf injury, some very interesting developments on that front. But first, let's talk here about Pat Freiermuth. We have been talking about a potential extension ever since the Brandon Ayuk saga officially concluded a couple of weeks ago. And I advocated for this team to lock up Pat Freiermuth, and I thought this was going to be more around the $14 million range per season, based on where the current rankings are of the highest paid tight ends. I didn't think he was going to get to that Kelsey number, which is about $17 million per year, but I also thought that he wanted to be probably closer to the top 5 instead of the top 10 highest paid tight ends. But it seems like he took a hometown discount here to stay in Pittsburgh long term, and I think this is a fantastic deal for the Pittsburgh Steelers here. Just to give you guys some perspective as to just how good this deal is for the Steelers. Right now, I mean, based on the annual money per year, Pat Freiermuth just gets inside the top 10. Which is crazy because usually, guys of Pat Freiermuth's caliber, I think usually get within the top 5 of their position group. He accepted a deal to just get in under the top 10 mark, okay? So he's making less money per year right now with this new extension that doesn't kick in until next year, by the way. Cole Kmet, who I think Pat Freiermuth is better than, David Njoku, who I think that Pat Freiermuth is better than, and then also Evan Ingram from the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think Pat Freiermuth definitely has the ability to be a better receiving tight end than all of those guys that are currently making more money per year than him heading into next year. So this is a fantastic deal that Omar Khan and the Pittsburgh Steelers were able to get Pat Freiermuth locked up for, and I definitely think that Muth has the ability and the talent to make this an absolute steal, especially if he becomes the number 2 receiving option for the Pittsburgh Steelers offense this year. We know that wide receiver room here in Pittsburgh is, there's definitely got some question marks. Will Van Jefferson bounce back? Is Calvin Austin III somebody that can be trusted? Roman Wilson, is he going to pan out and be the long-term number 2 option? I think we all know George Pickens is really good, and he's going to do a lot of really good things in this offense. But this team has really been searching for that number 2 receiving option, and right now it seems like Pat Freiermuth is a very viable candidate for that. And even if Roman Wilson turns into a stud, even if they go out and make a move for a receiver, having a tight end like Pat Freiermuth, who's got very sure hands, is a very good route runner for the position. He's somebody that I think is absolutely worth the money that the Steelers paid for him, and this is a kind of lower value position, which is why these kinds of guys make less money. But Pat Freiermuth really has that breakout season, all right, and he stays healthy, all right, and he's able to become that number 2 receiving option and become Russell Wilson or Justin Fields' safety blanket here over the middle, which is more than possible at this point. I think that this contract is going to end up looking like a steal in 2 to 3 years. So I really like this deal from the Pittsburgh Steelers, locking up Pat Freiermuth for $48.4 million over 4 years. If you're somebody sitting at home and you're like, man, I really don't like this deal, I mean, I can kind of understand some of the reasonings. He hasn't been healthy, the production hasn't been there, but you also have to remember he's had to deal with Kenny Pickett, Mitchell Trubisky, and Matt Canada's offense. I think Arthur Smith knows what he's doing. I think that the quarterback play is going to be better here in Pittsburgh moving forward, and I think that Muth's production in this offense will go up, especially with Deontay Johnson out of the building now. So I do think this is a good deal for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I'm happy that Pat Freiermuth is happy with making $12.1 million per season because, I think in other areas, and if he didn't want to take a hometown discount, he could have potentially gotten $15 million, $14 million, especially if he played this season out, but he feels good about Pittsburgh. He wants to stay with the Steelers organization long term, and I'm very happy happy for him. Now, coming up here, I do have the latest injury update on Russell Wilson. He talked to the media this afternoon. But before I get into that, let's have a word from our sponsor here at PrizePicks. And PrizePicks is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports right on your phone. And unlike other apps on PrizePicks, it's just you against the numbers. All you have to do is pick more than or less than on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. Get in on the daily action with your friends and become a part of the PrizePicks community today. And the way that you do that is you download the PrizePicks app today and use code CLNS and get $50 instantly when you only use $5 and play $5. That's code CLNS on PrizePicks, on the PrizePicks app, to get $50 instantly when you play $5. Guys, you don't even have to win your projection to receive that $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. So again, you guys can download the PrizePicks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly when you play $5. PrizePicks, run your game. So let's talk a little bit here about Russell Wilson, who of course re-aggravated that calf injury that he had the day before training camp practices began, pushing that sled. I won't go into that. It's absolutely ridiculous. But he has re-aggravated that injury. It tightened up on him at practice yesterday. And now it kind of seems like his status for Sunday is in question. Adam Schefter from ESPN went on the air yesterday, said the Steelers are unsure if he's going to play versus Atlanta here in week 1. And then Russell Wilson goes out there and he uses very vague language. He says things like, if I can go, I will play. I want to play. I want to be healthy for all 20 games this year, of course referring to playoffs and the Super Bowl, which is his expectation for this team this year. But at this point, guys, I think we're definitely at the point where, it's definitely up in the air. Justin Fields is getting a lot of the first team reps with the offense in team periods this week. Of course, he got them all yesterday and today. And, it's definitely starting to look like we could see Justin Fields on Sunday. Now, it's definitely still a fluid situation. If Russell Wilson feels better, it seems like at this point, if the game was today, he wouldn't be playing. And we only have about 48 hours here until, the ball kicks off in Atlanta. So it's going to be interesting to see if Russell Wilson plays or not. If he plays, the big question is going to be, is that thing going to hold up for an entire game? I would be extremely worried about Russ's Achilles if he ends up playing with this calf tightness. We know that, we know that especially with older quarterbacks, usually it's the calf tightness and then the Achilles goes next. I really, really hope that doesn't happen for Russ this year. That would be devastating for him. But at this point, it definitely seems like if things don't get better on Russ's front, it's going to be Justin Fields getting his first ever start for the Pittsburgh Steelers here. And it's going to be a game with a bunch of storylines. He's from Georgia, all right, so it's going to be a little bit of a homecoming for him. There was a lot of rumblings that he could be traded to the Falcons during the offseason this year, so he was maybe expecting or hoping that he could go to the Falcons and play for his hometown team, but he ended up here in Pittsburgh, and for him to play against that team that pretty much passed on him in that first game, he's going to be able to play in front of his family, all that stuff. That's going to be an incredible opportunity for Justin Fields, and I will definitely say this right now. Justin Fields goes out there and the Steelers win the football game, and Justin Fields makes more than a couple really nice throws and some nice plays and makes some impact runs, and the offense looks functional with him back there. You have to go with the hot hand, and you have to stick with Justin Fields. Even if Russ is ready to go for that Denver game, I think that you have to go with the hot hand strategy if you're head coach Mike Tomlin, if Justin Fields earns it, right? Last year when Mason Rudolph came in and he was the hot hand after that Cincinnati Bengals win, I said it then, and I'll keep that same strategy here. You got to go with the guy that's winning, the guy that's having success. Now, if Justin Fields goes out there and doesn't play well and the Steelers lose, then it's like, all right, now we can go to Russell Wilson. But if Justin Fields gets the opportunity to play on Sunday, he 100% has the chance to make this his football team. All right, so that will be a really interesting storyline to watch. If we get any official designation here before kickoff, I will be getting a video out to you guys guys, letting you guys know who's going to start, what that means for the game plan moving forward. It's going to be a very interesting 48 hours if you are a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, so make sure you guys click that subscribe button if you haven't already. So today's news, Pat Freiermuth locked up to a very team-friendly 4-year extension today. I'm very, very happy that the Steelers were able to get that done for a player that I'm a big fan of. And then, also Russell Wilson. It seems like he's unsure if he's going to play on Sunday. So I definitely think it's going to be an interesting 48 hours here in Steelers Nation, man. And we're going to keep you guys updated right here with free coverage here on Steelers Talk. So make sure you click that subscribe button right now. And until next time, here we go, Steelers.